1, 2, 3. All right, we're Gucci. As you can see, I like handhelds. And as you can see, I have many of them. So we are just gonna go through them as I ramble about the many, many things that I have. I really like watching collection videos. I don't know where to put this, oh god. I really like watching people talk about things they collect, and I thought, you know what? This would be a fun background video for someone, because we're probably gonna be here a while. Yeah. Now that's a shot. Time to get serious. So, I post videos on TikTok if you don't know. People often ask me why. To that I say, fun. I think this is a fun place to start. This is my Game Boy Advance. It was modded by Leaf Retro on Etsy. I don't think he mods handhelds anymore now that I'm thinking about it, but you can probably find somebody modding a Game Boy Advance with this shell somewhere on the internet, I'm sure. This is basically what started this handheld collecting obsession. I really wanted to mod my own Game Boy Advance, but I just didn't feel like going through all of that, which is a crazy thing to say now that I know it's pretty easy. But I saw this and I was like, you know what? I probably wouldn't have been able to come up with this like color combination anyway. I ordered it. It arrived pretty quick. I have some videos on it. I just love how this looks. I love that it's purple, bluish, whatever, and in the light it's like this gorgeous gold. Like it's so cool. You can adjust the brightness by tapping on the Nintendo logo. I don't really know what else to say. I'm thinking about adding a USB-C charging mod to this just because I keep running out of batteries, but at the same time, I don't think I use it enough to where batteries are that big of an issue. Pretty cool. Cool addition. Alright, next one. Oh, this is an interesting one. Okay. You may look at this and think, what the heck is this? This cannot be a Game Boy Advance, right? Because it's not. It is a hardware clone that I found on AliExpress for like $40 at the time. But as you can see, it's missing its little logo down there. Game box. Just saw it on AliExpress and I was like, this would be so funny to have in my collection. Another thing as well that I think is interesting about this. Ooh, it's a little crunchy. Game box. It kind of compresses the screen a bit. It's probably not noticeable to like people who don't care as much, right? Like this is a pretty solid hardware clone, but it's like just ever so slightly squished up. So it's a little blurry, but it's not bad, you know. It's not terrible. I believe also it does have the link cable. So if you're crazy and you just want something to mess with, this might be good for like projects, to be honest, if you wanted to mess with it. I can't get this game out. There you go. Beautiful. So those are the Game Boy Advances that I own. Advances. This is really the only real one that I have, but this one's not too odd, in my opinion. Anyway, this one's also not a Game Boy Advance, but it's cool, unlike this piece of plastic. They're pretty similar in size. They're not too different. Or so you would think. No, because this is an Anbernic device. If you don't know what Anbernics are, they are emulation handhelds. Probably seen like bootleg Game Boys like this at the store or something. I used to see things like this at Toys R Us all the time and they'd be so cheap. But these are basically if they were good. Yeah. This is the RG35XXSP. I know it's a crazy name, but it can run up to PSP games, which I think is awesome. It also just looks really good. I don't think it's gonna turn on. Oh my gosh, it's charged. Yay. I really like playing Game Boy Advance games on this. Obviously, I love that it's pocketable, and I love how it looks. I used to have a silver Game Boy Advance SP growing up, so this was like a no-brainer for me when they revealed that this came out. They have one that's out actually right now that is like this, but it looks like this. And I do really want it, but it's not something I'm like rushing for right— oh, It's not something I'm rushing for right now, so I really like playing like Mario Kart DS on this because it's really not that bad. All the games look really good and run really good on this thing. PSP games are a little iffy, but I don't really play PSP games on this anyway, so I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Emerald on this, so see you later. Overall, really solid. If you wanted to get into a lot of retro games and you just wanted something portable, not over $100, then I think this is a really good option if you wanted to do something like that. I think I'm gonna get into the DS's now. Wow, this is heavy stack. Okay. Here's the chunk. Yeah, let's just get into that. Let's start here. This is a Nintendo DS Lite. Gorgeous, right? I know that I said that the Game Boy Advance was kind of my jumpstart into collecting consoles. This was the first one I bought with the intention of just having it. It came with the pink, like the regular pink shell already, but I actually wanted it to have a nice new shell, and I thought that the clear would be kind of cool looking. I'm honestly not a huge fan of it, but a lot of people love it, so I haven't messed with it. I just don't like how the speakers look, to be honest. I think they look a little silly just poking out like that, but apparently that's a hot take, so we're not gonna deal with that. I bought this for $20 on eBay. I don't remember why it was so cheap. I don't even remember if DS Lites normally go for that price. It only had some issues with the trigger here. I think I fixed it though. I haven't used it in a while, to be honest. Whoever owned this previously did swap the buttons, because I'm pretty sure no pink DS Lite exists with black buttons. They did a pretty good job, honestly, and I didn't feel like messing with it. They also clearly went over the screen with Sharpie or something. I'm not gonna question it. Honestly, it worked. The console worked, and that's all that mattered to me. And this was just a fun little thing to work on, to figure out how DS Lites work inside if I ever wanted to do another shell swap. Yeah. This is my DSi XL. Very decorated. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of how this looks anymore, but honestly, I spent a lot of time on it. I don't really want to fix it right now. Genuinely, one of the best ways to play Nintendo DS games. If you don't know anything about these handhelds, like at all, and you want to play original DS games like you used to, like on the DS Lite, this is the way to go. And let me convince you why. It's huge. This thing is massive, and the screen is pixel perfect. Like, you will never have a better Nintendo DS experience. It is so good on here. Every game is gorgeous. Every game is so much fun to play, and it's also big, so it's just so much better in your hands. This is how you do it. This is the GOAT. This is the GOAT right here. This is good. Get this. But if you're just watching this video for funsies, you know, you probably already have one or something, or I don't know. But anyway, I got this DSi XL literally for every reason I just listed, to play Nintendo DS games pixel perfect. And if you're wondering, like, oh, but what about the 5 other 3DSs you have? I'll get to that. One of my favorite versions of the DS that Nintendo ever made. And the stylus, oh my gosh, I absolutely love when Nintendo would put the stylus here. It is just it's the perfect spot. Like, you're holding it, you're playing a game, oh, I need the stylus, boop, there it is. Perfect. 10 out of 10 design. I have no complaints about this. Perfect console, perfect handheld. The DS was the GOAT. We're moving on. Here, gorgeous little sparkly blue thing. This is the original Nintendo 3DS. This is my childhood 3DS from 2011. I got it for my birthday. Fun fact about this, actually, I remember I asked for a Nintendo DSi, like the original, same size and everything. I didn't even know that the Nintendo 3DS came out around that time. So my parents got me this one. Forever the greatest thing they've ever done, because this is what got me into this rabbit hole that is gaming. I wasn't even that into gaming when I got this. I just had fun with the camera, And there's just so much on this little handheld that like sparked who I am today. Let me tell you, when Super Smash Bros. Came out, this is what I was playing it on, and that is what started the downfall. I remember Super Smash Bros. 4 had its trailer come out, everyone was doing crazy ass reactions, like we all remember the Etika reaction to Smash Bros. Characters being revealed. I remember I downloaded the demo and I was going with my mom to the nail salon, and I didn't really want to get my nails done, so I just pulled this out, played the Smash Brothers demo, and then immediately I was like, wow, I want to know where all these characters come from. And my local nail salon was right next to Toys R Us. So my mom was like, oh, what are you playing on there? And I was like, oh, I'm playing the demo for a game. And I used to complain about Nintendo 3DS demos all the time, because they would only let you play it a certain amount of times before you just can't play it anymore. And so little me would just complain about not being able to play the games anymore. And so we'd end up at Toys R Us. And so when I told her, I was like, oh, I'm playing the demo for a game, she was like, let's just go get it. 3DS games were so darn affordable. We went to Toys R Us and got Smash Brothers, and I went home and I looked up every single character in the game because I just wanted to know where they came from. And that created the spiral, me wanting to play more games and just know more about everything going on. So this is also the GOAT. This one's in pretty good condition. I was honestly really good about handling my handhelds as a kid. It has a little bit of scratches, but it's not that bad. It still has the SD card, volume slider still works, everything works. Of course the stylus is missing though. I was not that good. This is where it began pretty much. Moving on to my second 3DS. This I also had as a kid. I remember by the time that the new Nintendo 3DS XL came out, I was already in too deep, and what really convinced me the most was not only its size, Xenoblade Chronicles 3D was a launch title. And me and my cousin would always get rewarded for having good grades at school at the end of the year. And so me and him were both like, all right, we need to get good grades so we can both get our hands on the new 3DS XL. And you know I did it. And you know I got it because it's right here. This is where everything became brand new to me. The Wii U was out, but I was more comfortable with handhelds, and I still had Smash Brothers on a bigger screen, and the C-Stick, this little eraser, was game-changing to me. This entire thing, game-changing. The 3D was so much better. I even used it. That's how good it was. I used the 3D on this thing. I could play Xenoblade, a Wii game, right? This was cool at the time, I swear. I could play a Wii game on this thing, and it hurt my eyes so bad, but I loved it. I will never forget the first week with this thing. I was so hooked on just trying to play every single game I already owned just to see it on a bigger screen. And it was awesome. It looked so cool. This is probably one of my favorite 3DS models. And if not, it is my favorite 3DS model. I just love it this much. I also took pretty good care of it as a kid. As you can tell, it's not too bad. The circle pad actually deteriorated just completely on its own, so I changed the circle pad recently. I think I did a pretty good job. This 3DS, where everything truly started. Moving on to my last two 3DS consoles. Here is the new 3DS. I remember wanting this so bad when the new 3DS line came out, but these were a Japan exclusive at the time, and the biggest reason that I wanted this is you could actually change the faceplates. I wish that faceplates were something that were on the XL2. I feel like it just would have looked really cool. Honestly, both are good. It's honestly the same as the XL, you can tell. It has the C-Stick. They have extra buttons, I forgot to mention that earlier. Extra buttons, and the 3D was so much better. Just barely bigger than the original, and it just looks cleaner. As a kid, I really wanted this one. I'm really happy I have it now. I actually think that 3DS games look so much better on the smaller screen, but they're more comfortable on the bigger screen, if that makes sense. They're blurrier on the bigger screen. I really like it. I play games on here occasionally. I've been playing Rune Factory 4 on this one. I love it. It's cute. It's cute. I think that's all I have to say about it. It's cute. Moving on to another GOAT. The new 2DS XL. Horrible name, but I love it. You may be wondering what my favorite color is in this video. From all of the pink, you may think, oh, it's pink. It's actually orange. I put a little orange cat on this one. I mostly love the design. I don't like this camera placement. I don't really like where the stylus is, and it's freaking puny. What is this? But let me tell you what I do like. It has everything that the new 3DS had. Extra buttons. You could put amiibos on here. I thought that was kind of cool. And I do like that there's a cover where the game goes. Ooh, what's in here? Oh, Ever Oasis, awesome. And I like that the SD card is like there. The SD card, you actually had to unscrew the 3DS XL to access, which was super annoying as a little like 14-year-old who just wanted to mod her console but had no access to screwdrivers. That's probably what they were avoiding though. This is actually the one that I've been using the most recently, and I think it's just because I like the size of the screen and I like that it's a little bit lighter. This one is really decked out, honestly. I was using it a few days ago to play Cooking Mama. I gave it a little orange theme. Love it. I have a ton of games on here, or actually not that much. I don't really know what it is. I just like how clean and modern it looks. I think it's just the fact that this came out when the Nintendo Switch was already out. So you know I already had the Switch, but there's something charming about seeing how a more modern day Nintendo would make a DS. And so it just looks really clean and modern, and you look at it and you're like, yeah, I can see this being a new Nintendo handheld, even though it's already just as old as a Switch. But I love it quite a bit. I love the orange. It's so cute. It has that Nintendo fun that I feel like we've been missing for a minute. My iPhone actually ran out of storage while recording, so we're down here now. As I was saying, I think PlayStation does a really good job designing their handhelds. I really like how this looks like something they can release today. I feel like no one would even question that this is like a 10-year-old console. Besides Project Eva, I played a lot of Gravity Rush on this thing, so good game. Goated game. I love this handheld. The PSP, on the other hand, I also love this console. My case is a little bit weird. You can like remove it. Awesome. Kind of the same thing. I played a lot of Project Eva on this and a lot of Loco Roco. I absolutely love this. I love these discs. They're so much fun to put in. I have Sims 2 Castaway in here. I love this thing. It is so satisfying to click in there. I honestly wish I grew up with a PSP. I beat Parappa the Rapper 1 and Jammer Lammy on this. Best experience I've ever had. Alright, this video is already getting too long, so let's move on. Let's go back to the Nintendo Switch. It's honestly no surprise that I have a Nintendo Switch. This is my Nintendo Switch. This is actually my OLED. I do have the LCD that came out back in 2017 on launch day, but it's kind of in rough shape, so just so you know, I do have it. But this is my OLED, and hilarious story about this. I have enough storage to even make this video. I'm gonna put a clip of this on here. I actually got this Splatoon edition OLED from Temu, which is a crazy thing to say now that we all know that Temu is like insane. I made a TikTok in 2023 about how people kept on saying they got stuff off of Temu that were like super expensive, and I was like, I'm gonna just buy a Switch, and I did, and I ended up getting the Splatoon edition OLED after they stopped selling it in the US, so that's cool.
Until later in the game.
So I keep getting these goddamn Temu videos on my For You page, and everybody's like, I can't tell if this is a scam, maybe this is like their marketing or whatever. I bought a whole ass Nintendo Switch, the Splatoon version of it, and I will be back and let you know if this is actually a scam or not. So I bought a Nintendo Switch on Temu at the beginning of the month because I was tired of seeing all of those like, oh, I got this Switch for free type shit, and all the comments are like, oh, this is so sketchy, they probably don't even sell real Switches and stuff like that. So I did buy it. I did not get this for free, and Temu is not paying me, and they probably won't because I called them sketchy. But as you can see, I did get a real Switch, and I kind of knew it was real from like the second I saw it in the mailbox. I could like see a little bit of red from like the top of the packaging. So as you can see, it works. I left a review on it saying that like it is real, but you should still be careful about the things you buy on Temu, because like I said, it's sketchy. But here's me setting it up with my other Switch. I am honestly kind of surprised, but I'm also not entirely like shocked. Like, I've seen a lot of people actually get Switches that aren't like, oh, use my code. So like I don't know what else to tell you. I got a Switch, it is real. I got it for like $200, and you can kind of see me freaking out comparing it to my old Switch. But yeah, here it is right now, downloading and everything. Yeah, you're welcome.
I have a lot of games on here. This could be a whole video in itself, honestly. I don't have a lot to say about the Nintendo Switch. I think I'm now just in this phase where I'm kind of tired of it, and I'm kind of ready for the next Nintendo console. As I'm recording this, the Switch 2 has not been revealed yet, but we're getting pretty close. Just know I'll be there for that. I really liked the Switch. I feel like it had a really good run. My Switch is pretty cute. I got this case from Geekshare. They like to send me a lot of things on TikTok, so if you're interested in that, you should totally go check that out. But Pikmin 4, that's a really good game. To be honest, we all know about the Switch. I don't have a lot to say about this. We're moving on. Moving on to the GOAT. Yeah, this is what replaced my Switch. This is the Steam Deck. It is my very first portable PC. This is honestly one of my favorite like handheld ever created. It is just so, it's just awesome. Another fun story about this, I got this when they revealed the OLED version, and they actually refunded me through Steam credits. So I have like hundreds of Steam games just in here that I have yet to play because I just bought them all when it came out. These little Starfield thumb grips recently, also from Geekshare. Little butterfly there. This vinyl wrap is actually made out of like car wrap vinyl. I thought that was a really cool thing when I found it on Etsy. If I can find it, I'll link it. But similar thing to my Game Boy Advance, where when it's in the light, it's like a pearlescent blue, and it's so cool. I love the Steam Deck. I just love playing all of my Steam games and emulation. As you can see, I've been using this so much recently. Pretty much been carrying me through the drought of waiting for the next Nintendo console. So I'm like running out of things to say. Oh my god, but we have 2 more, so we're good. More Anbernic handhelds. This one does literally everything that the one that looks like a Game Boy Advance can do. To be honest, I don't really use it. I received it from Anbernic just to make videos on, and I do make videos on it. I think it's really cool. I like the form factor of it, and I like that it's portable. But to be honest with you, I prefer the other one. So this is just kind of here for the collection. It also uses Nintendo Switch joysticks, which I think is really funny. This one I've made plenty of videos on. This is the RG406V. It has also sort of Nintendo Switch thumbsticks, but they're like a little bit higher. It runs Android, so it can play some mobile games. I play Minecraft on here. These are primarily emulation devices. So I actually bought this to have a way more portable version of playing GameCube games outside of my Steam Deck. But now that I've had it for a while, it honestly can't run GameCube games at a pace that I love. It gets the job done for most of the games I want to play, so it's not a huge deal. I just really like how it looks. I like that it looks like something Nintendo would also release today. It has a really cute modern look to it that I really like. But yeah, pretty much this is a really good emulation device though. If you wanted something sort of like the last one I showed you, but can run up to PS2 and GameCube, this one's pretty goated. I like this one a lot. Also, a couple honorable mentions. My boyfriend really wanted me to show his Portal and also his PSP. And we know portals aren't really handhelds, but you know, they're also like a streaming handheld. I don't know, I like how it looks. But thank you for watching this video. If you stayed throughout this whole video, awesome. If you were like making art or multitasking during this video, I hope you got a lot done. And I would love to know if you guys also have any handhelds. That would be really cool. I plan to make more cozy-ish videos in the future, so if you like content like that, that would be super cool if you stay tuned and subscribed or did something cool like that. I don't know. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.